Hello everybody, I'm Harry of Harry's Bushcraftish. Yes, I put the ISH in the bottom of the bushcraft. That is because, let me tell you about this. What I'm doing is not really bushcraft because I am depending on many tools and the products, right? So the bushcraft should produce everything from wood. So what I'm doing is bushcraft-like. Well, today I'd like to introduce you about a real good knife. That's what I found. Then let me tell you the short story of the how do I get that. Is the one other day I was surfing the YouTube to looking for the Morris Garberg, and the one title caught my eyes. That said Garberg Killer. So I was looking for Garberg, and there's something gonna kill the Garberg. So there was much curiosity at the time. So I looked at that video. And the sum of guys, they all said that that knife is very, very attractive and a good performance. And most of those guys are usually, they used to review the many knives. So they are the sort of expert, right? But all those guys who introduced this knife, they all said that this knife is great. So I wanted to own that knife, but when I checked that site of that knife's manufacturer, they all sold out at that moment. So I placed a back order, and I was waiting for a couple of weeks. During those weeks, I checked their site once in 3 days, and after a few weeks later, I found they got the inventory, so that knife was in stock. Very little number of stocks, but so I pressed the add to cart button right away, and so I could get it. So I was so lucky, and I was so excited when I got this knife. So I posted this short video to show off that knife from out of the box, and then one of my Japanese subscriber, the young man, he gave me the comments, and he said that there are very, very few people knew this knife about. So maybe this is the very rare knife here in Japan. So I was checking some other shopping site like the knife shoppers, or of course Amazon's, or like the many famous shopping site, but there aren't any. So this is a very, very unique one. Okay, I should stop my foreplay. So let me show you the knife. This is the one. VARUSTELEKA Terava Jaakaripuukko. I put the letter on here, and as you can see, it looks like sound the Jaakaripuukko, but it's not. The VARUSTELEKA site, in there, that they explained that this pronunciation, appropriate pronunciation is Jaakaripuukko. And let me tell you about this meaning a little bit. The Terava is a shop, and the Jagar in English meaning is a devil. And this devil, the jaguar, is the sort of a mascot of the Finland army or Finland military. So it seems like this is the puukko, but it's also good to use the military use. I mean the tactical, maybe. I don't know. But the designer of this knife in the VARUSTELEKA, he mentioned in something on the site that he wanted to make the stronger puukko than the traditional one. So this is much more the way to the military use, right? But still, this is the puukko as far as it says puukko, so they sell that in they sell on the retail market. The overall of this knife's length is 24 centimeters, which convert to inches at 9.45 inches, and the blade length is 110 millimeter, which is the 4.33 inches, and the blade width is 26 millimeters, which is almost 1 inch, but I think it's exactly 1.02 inches. And the blade thickness is 4 millimeter, and which is 0.16 inches. Maybe you know that the knife grants sometimes a little the different direction that there's my cheating paper. Okay, well anyway, the weight for this knife is 175 grams, which is a 6.17 ounce. And the material of this blade, this steel, is a high carbon steel, the 80 CRV2. Sounds like it's contained the chromium and the vanadium too. And Rockwell hardness is the 59 HRC. So the maximum figure of the Rockwell hardness would be 63. So I think this is pretty much a hard one. And the blade length, the blade degree is 23 degree. And the VARUSTELEKA said that this is a very common angle of the edge for the edge, I mean the puukko edge, and this will cover all of the knifey tasks. And the blade metal goes through all through the end, which is that they say this is the full tang. But the full tang that I had images that the full tang will be like this. You know, this knife is the tops brachimal. The all blade metal material goes through the all the end with this handle shapes, and right, so full metal in a grip. I thought that this was the full tang, but that they said this is the full tang. Yes, this is the different from the rat-tail tang, which is the traditional to be used for traditional puukko. So I think this width is goes to the all through to the blade, and it comes a little wider, and it makes it this blade width. So in any way that they said that this is the full tang. Well, generally speaking, the puukko will have the shorter than the 100 millimeter blade, and has the straight spines, and it has a scanty grind profile, and no choil, and the handle will be just straight handle with the curry birch, the beautiful grain, and the difference of that size will be the only for the adjust to the men and the women's hand size maybe. So that is the traditional typical type of a puko. So this is a little bit different from that, because it has a choil, and the spine is a little bit the shape of the drop point, and yeah, the Scandi grind profile is it, but it has a little the convex the second micro bevel here, and it has the finger guard, and it has the finger groove here, and besides this handle is the rubber, right? It has a little texture, so but this handle is incredible. This is so comfortable handle. I found out I've never paid any attention for the rubber handle before, but this handle gives me the little different idea. The feeling like I could open up my eyes, and this rubber handle, one of the reviewer on YouTube that he mentioned about this rubber handle, and I totally agree with that, is when we are in a situation of the very cold the circumstances environment, like the negative 30 Celsius degree of Celsius, or negative 20 under than the zero, or the negative 20 degree of Fahrenheit. In that environment, when we touch some metal, like this exposed the metal exposed handle, when we touch with the bare hand, and then the tissue of the skin of the hand will stick with this, and it will never comes off, right? So when we try to release the hand from the handle, and then the tissue of the skin will leave it here, and we will get the cold burn, and get will have a disaster, right? But this rubber handle will never have that chance to do to be like that. So in a cold situation, it wouldn't be too cold, and we can grab this knife in a proper way. So it's good for the cold situation too. They sell the two options to buy this knife. One is with this sheath, the leather sheath, dangler type, with the knife with this sheath, option 1. And option 2 is this sheath, as you can see, here's an insert in here. Okay, let me show you that. Can you see this? The plastic insert inside. And they sell just this inside, the insert, and this knife. So two options you can buy. So I bought this with this the leather sheath. So I'm going to tell you about this leather sheath. And this is a very the high quality leather. It's very smooth leather, and a nice feeling. I think it's a little thinner, but so that's why maybe that they got an insert or the inside of the leather sheath, or maybe this is a little thin leather, so maybe the knife that goes through and break through maybe. And also the sheath has the drain hole, here's a hole, but you can't see through. If I give the lights here, and you can see the light inside, right? So which means that it's going through. That is because the drain hole of the insert and this leather is a hole. This is set up a little different. I mean, in the offset right? So that's why you can't see through the naturally, but it is the coming through, so it's okay. And the very unique thing about this sheath is this snap button, right? Here's a snap button here. Why this snap button is here is because when we carry this knife in a backpack or stores somewhere, there's storage, and then we would like to secure, right? Not to release this knife from the out of sheath easily. So snap on, and then it doesn't come out. It's very hard. So when we use this knife, release this button, leave it alone, and then we can take it out. But still, this retention here is strong enough to hold this knife, so it doesn't come off easily, right? So just take it out with the small power, and it has the retention. You can hear the sound, right, like this. So this is a very, very good sheath. But my personal preference of the sheath is I like this dangler type, but this belt loop is fixed with this rivet, right? So I have to take the belt off once, and through the belt here, and then I have to fasten the belt again, right? It's a little irritate me, so I like the detachable belt loop. So this belt loop, I prefer the detachable. And also I used to carry the ferro rod with the knife, but this has no place to put the ferro rod holder. Yeah, maybe if I wrap some the paracord around here and put the ferro rod holder can be attached with that, but that I don't like to wrap the paracord to the leather sheath, because it has maybe a mold and the moisture will be kept in there, so I don't like that. So this sheath is very good, so I like to keep this for my backup. But I made another sheath by myself like this with the Kydex, right? It has the ferro rod holder here, and it has a dangler with the leather belt loop, and this has a snap. It comes in the inside of the body. You know, it goes to the belt and the snap on in the body side, and then nothing in this side to be released, right? So I think this could be okay for most of my the activity, I think. Now I'm going to tell you about the feeling of this knife itself. After I got this, as soon as after I got this, I test this at my yard. Pretty much of the processing of firewood, like the buttoning, chopping, and making of feather curls, the feather sticks, and curving some notches and the whole 9 yards. And after that, and I checked the edge, but there aren't any damages, looks like. So I keep doing some testing to much more the sensitive work, like the slicing and the cutting of the vegetable. And the cutting vegetable was okay, but when I tried to cut and slice a very soft mellow tomato, this edge could not bite into. So I think this edge became a little dull at the time, but so I apply the leather straps, and then this edge come back, regained, and I could keep working with this. And after those testing, I had a feeling like that maybe I could take this out of the camp right after that test without any re-sharpening or anything or retouching. I think this is a very, very rare feeling to me, because in my history, most of the knife that I got, after test those knives, I need a re-sharpening to bring out the camp. But this one, I feel like I don't need to do that. So, which gave me that this steel is very strong and very reliable to me. For example, this bracket of the tops, or the other the same steel like a 1095 carbon steel knives. When I test this is a very massive, the almost full size of the knife, and this is a real good knife. I like this too. But when I test this, and after I chopped some logs, and then this edge got the burr, right? And so I need to retouch and resharp this edge and the grind and everything, and then is keeping this works very well after that. And also I should mention about this spine here, because I carry the ferro rod, so I used to ignite the fire rod with the knife spine and here. Usually some knives has the very sharp spine, like the just exactly 90 degrees, but many of knife has a little makes a little the round corner on the spine, like the motor as well, and even this brachimo was like that. I couldn't ignite and make the spark the ferro rod with the original spine. So I already sharpened this spine by myself and make a hard degree of the corner, the very sharp corner here, so I could spark the ferro rod right now, but originally it couldn't. And also this Jaakaripuukko, some reviewer of this knife, and they made their video, they posted their video around almost a year ago. This spine is quite good to spark the ferro rod, but that wasn't to satisfy them, so that's why they sharpened this spine and make the much the sharper corner of the spine, what they said, and that they did. But when I tested this, there aren't any trouble to make the very the hard spark of the ferro rod. I could get a very, very good spark from the spine of the ferro rod. So they might change their mind. I mean the VARUSTELEKA, maybe they changed their production the method or something, because I could see a little the grind part along this wall and just close to the spine here. So it seems like that they modified this spine from old design, I think. Maybe they might watched those the review videos, and they modified this, I think. And now overall, as you can see, this knife is not fancy, because there isn't any stamps or the curving on here, any trademark, anything, the very the simple design, right? So it seems like that this knife was made by ordinary but high-skilled smith. So maybe I understand that, because puko is people's cultural ordinary life tool, right? So it seems like the same as the Japanese the farmer's tool, like the weed cutter or the digging ground, and I mean anyway the farmer's tool, and because so Japanese the weed cutter is very good, and also hatchet is also the good tool. Those are all sharp, and they work so very good, very well. That is because the Japanese people is the agricultural people in history, right? But the Finlandia, the Scandinavian people, that they are hunting people, right? In history, that's why that they made this, that they made this style of a knife, and so we Japanese make the weed cutter or the hatchet, right? I don't know if you've ever seen or not, but the long bladed hatchet we have. But I don't think that is not only the reason why this is so attractive to me, is because when I look at this profile of this grind, this candy grind, this is pretty much close to almost the same with the Japanese samurai's katana. Samurai's katana is, of course, it has the long sword, right? It is a very long sword and long grind, right? But that shape of the grind is almost like this. So I think that is one of the reasons why I like this knife, so attractive to me. And the convex grind, I mean the convex edge finished, is also applied to the katana edge. We call that clamshell shape, because of the shape of that convex is little round from the both sides ends and come together and it makes a very sharp edge, right? It's round. This section shape of this round and has the sharp edge looks like just like the clam shell, right? When the clam shell closed, that shape is just like the shape of the grind, so the convex grind and the Japanese clam shape of grind is almost the same, right? So that's why maybe this is so attractive to me as Japanese, right? And why I am so excited about this knife is not only the performance, not only this beautiful Scandi grind profile, but also the price. Because I'm an ordinary man, has a job, and I have to work for a living. I can't afford it to buy the very expensive knife. So, what do you think? How much it is? This is only with the comes with the insert of this blade. That option 1 price is only $37.60. $37.60, and you can get this. Of course, you need to pay the importing cost and everything, the taxes, but the price in the euro is the 32.99, and the comes with this leather seat. This price is $68.39, which is the 59.99 euro. And I have to pay a delivery cost was the $30, right, by UPS. But that was so fast. I think they raise up a little bit their price, because I bought this almost a month ago. I could get a little cheaper, so maybe they raise up a little bit the price, maybe. But still, this is inexpensive. The $30 of the delivery cost is also reasonable to me, because I could get this one after my order. This was arrived 4 days, in 4 days. If I place the order something to the United States, it would take around maybe a few weeks to get the merchandise after I place the order. If I pay more than $50 or sometimes $100 to FedEx or DHL, maybe I could get those in 3 or 4 days from United States. But 30 days by UPS and takes only 4 days. It's fast, so it's very reasonable. And the UPS has also the very accurate tracking system, so I can trace where is my merchandise is. So this is very good. So very inexpensive and high quality, the steel of the blade, and good performance, and the good seat with this. Well, this knife is amazing. This is the number one for me for now. Of course, I shouldn't say that this is the best knife in the world, maybe, because there are the many point of view to look at each knives. For example, like if I were the soldier or the professional hunter or the alpinist or fisherman, and then maybe I will pick up something different. And if I were the rich man, maybe I will add the different factor on the knife, like the artificial matter or something more beautiful looking like. Maybe I will rely on the trustable manufacturer or the famous manufacturer or something. But for me, like ordinary men who are enjoying the outdoor activities, they try to do the pretty much a bushcraftish thing as a hobby. This is the perfect one, right? I don't need to pay more than $100 to get this. I could get this less than $100, right? But still, I'm pretty sure that if a professional outdoorsman or survivalist or the bushcrafters, maybe when they got this on their hand, they wouldn't say something bad about this. They all will say this is a good knife. I trust this. I bet you about this. So I showed you, I introduced you this very, very charming and attractive, the good performance knife to you all, and I'm so happy with this. So you will see this knife on my next video. I will have the few days camping to at the Hokkaido. So I'm so looking forward to use this one on the field. Well, this is my first time review video in English, so I'm not confident my English. So I hope you guys get what I'm trying to say, and I hope not to that anybody had any the bad feeling from my the saying words. If I use the inappropriate words or the something bad words, please forgive me. I have no idea. I totally have no idea. Wanted to say something bad or the hurt somebody or they make anybody uncomfortable, right? Please understand. Please try to understand what I'm trying to say. Okay, so this was a review video for the VARUSTELEKA Terava Jaakaripuukko. Please check it out. The URL I'll put on down below. So, and I hope you guys enjoy this video, and hope if you could get some the good reference or the information from this video, I'm so happy. And hopefully if you like this video, please gives me a thumbs up, and also press the subscribe button, please. Well, thanks for watching, and see you in the next time. Thank you.